Quick video to show you how I deal with catch lights in the eyes. So catch lights in a subject's eyes, a bit of a telltale to how the shoot has been sort of shot. And I think sometimes if you use too many lights and you can see the reflections in the eyes, not only is it a telltale sign, but it looks very unnatural. So what I try to do is remove these telltale signs, not to sort of disguise what I've done in shoot, but just to make the eyes look a little bit more natural. And you can see what we're doing. We're just in Photoshop here. I'm using the spot heal tool. This is really simple stuff. And what I do is just adjust the tool to a relatively sort of decent shape, and then just go about trying to make the adjustment. Now the great thing with this is if you adjust something and it doesn't look right, you can obviously just do Command and Z and go back, and you can see there that will undo it. I quite like that, so I just make the adjustments that I feel are necessary. When I feel that it's right, and do bear in mind that we're hyper zoomed in at the moment, so when I feel that's right, I zoom out to take a look at it, make sure that it looks natural. That doesn't look natural to me, so I'm going to zoom back in real close this time, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the brush tool, normal, yep, and then the colour, I'm going to use black, and I'm going to obviously adjust the brush size because that's huge, so need to adjust it to what we've got there. Drop in, zoom in. Now I'd imagine there's loads of ways of doing this. This is just how I tend to do it, and it works for me. So if it doesn't work for you, of course feel free to share the method that you use, or if you sort of like this method, by all means sort of take it on. And again, I then zoom out. And yeah, from this distance, the pupil looks more rounded. Obviously, on closer inspection, you can see that there is a little bit of a straight edge because what I was doing with the paint tool, but I don't want to keep on painting because otherwise I'll make the pupil a little bit bigger, so I'll avoid doing that. Now, I could remove both of the catch lights from the lights, but I don't think that's necessary if I'm completely honest. It's good to show some catch light because it brings a bit of life to the eye. If you take it away, then you just have these black pupils and they just sort of lose their soul a little bit. So just doing that works perfectly well, and you can see that obviously the light is over this side, so it's more prominent in that pupil, and that obviously creates the shade, but we did have another light here that's just filling in slightly. So we then just go and finish on the next eye. So again, I go back to my spot tool and I just basically try to get rid of it, and I'm moving as close as I can. And the great thing is this is shot on the Sony A7R2, so in terms of the resolution, like, it's unbelievable, which is great. And all I'm doing is just trying to get rid of that white bit there. Now what you can see there is as I got rid of that white bit, I then replaced it with some colour from there, so we're moving in like pixel by pixel. So this is super intense. And that's the great thing with the A7R2, you can do this because of the resolution of the sensor. Now if I was to do that and then do this, what you will find is I've now probably created more of a natural looking pupil. Still slight sort of edge to it, but that's the problem with working digital. But if I zoom back out again, and there you go. So to me, that's perfect. I'm very happy with that in terms of getting rid of the catch lights in the eyes, and you can see just one light in there. Obviously you can do some more adjustments because you can see that the eyelashes are coming over it, so you can see all that there, and you could get rid of that if you wanted to tidy it all up and just make it a little bit cleaner, and I'll show you the difference that makes slightly. And again, we just use the heal tool or the spot tool. I find it's like the simplest way to do it. There's probably a thousand ways to go about doing this, but for me this is just the simplest way and has the best results. I'm not a retoucher, I am a photographer, and my retouching skills have come about stuff that I've learned through watching YouTube. So I try to do stuff that's within my capability and also within the time frame that I issue to my subjects in terms of like shooting and getting the edits back to them. So if I do that there, You can see that that's obviously taking on a bit of that colour. So again, Control Z, we just get rid of that because we don't like that merge of colour. Zoom out, and you can see from this distance you hardly really notice the difference. It's just got sort of a cleaner look to it. It looks like he's standing beside a window, which is what you traditionally sort of look for when you look at catchlights in the eyes, because back in the day, portraits, obviously you didn't have flash and things like that, so the way portraits would tend to be drawn was basically somebody stood by a window, and that's what you would see in the subject's eyes. So photographers have tried to replicate that for years to come, and I think it's a very natural look, and it brings a bit of life to the character. So yeah, that's it done. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Be interesting to hear your thoughts. Obviously it's not the most technical of edits in the world, but you saw that it's relatively quick and gets a good result. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all soon. Take care.